Every time you like a post, or ask your smart speaker a question, or heck, even just walk down the street, you're handing over a tiny little brick. You're the supplier for a massive, invisible construction project that's all about you. So in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on who's building it and what they're building. A second you.
Okay, let's just walk through a totally normal day. It's 7 a.m. You tell your smart speaker, hey, turn off the alarm. Seems harmless, right? But that single interaction, the time, your voice, the command itself, that's the first data point of the day logged against your name.
Fast forward an hour, you're out for a run, and that fitness tracker on your wrist, it's not just telling you the time. It's quietly logging your pace, your heart rate, your exact route. Every single step, every heartbeat is another digital breadcrumb you're leaving behind. Then it's lunchtime. You're scrolling your phone, you see an interesting article, and you hit like. Boom, another preference noted, filed away, and analyzed. But here's the crucial thing. None of these are just random, isolated bits of information floating around in cyberspace.
And to cap off the day, you binge a new show. Your streaming service, of course, takes careful note. See, each of these little data points is like a single brushstroke, and together, they're painting a very, very detailed portrait, a virtual version of you.
All these little fragments of data, they're being pieced together to create something researchers are now calling a personal digital twin. It's like a digital shadow that follows you everywhere, constantly learning from you, and in a way, becoming you. And we're talking about way more than just a simple profile page. This thing is a dynamic, learning replica of your behaviors, your habits, your preferences. It can even start to infer what you might be thinking or feeling just based on your search history. It's a model that gets scarily good at predicting what you'll do next, what you'll buy next, and even what you believe.
So where's all this info coming from? Well, pretty much everywhere. I mean, think about it. Your watch is tracking your health, your thermostat knows exactly when you come and go, your public posts are a goldmine for your opinions, your Google searches reveal your deepest curiosities, your phone knows where you are at all times, and your Amazon orders, well, they show what you want. It's all feeding the beast. And the sheer volume of this data is, well, it's staggering. Just take one device, one. Amazon's Alexa collects at least 28 distinct data points on you, and that includes stuff like your precise location and even health data, and it all gets tied directly to you. Why? To make that model of you even more accurate. Okay, so what's the point of building this incredibly detailed digital twin? Well, one of its biggest applications is, you guessed it, persuasion. Because if a system can understand you that deeply, it can also influence you.
Now this image right here, it really shows you how the game has changed. Thanks to all this data, political campaigns don't see the public as just one big blob anymore. Instead, they see a collection of hundreds, even thousands, of tiny, specific groups, each one ready to be targeted with the perfect message.
And the difference in effectiveness is just massive. Old school campaigning was basically like throwing a bucket of paint at a wall and hoping some of it sticks. Micro-targeting, on the other hand, which is powered by your digital twin, is like a laser-guided missile. It delivers a perfectly crafted message designed to persuade one person, you. And the kind of things they can figure out about you is, honestly, it's a little unsettling. We're not just talking about what kind of shoes you like. Sophisticated algorithms can infer incredibly sensitive stuff from your public data alone. Your political views, potential health issues, your emotional state, it all goes into building a psychological profile. And the more detailed that profile is, the easier you are to nudge in one direction or another.
So, being able to persuade you is one thing. That's powerful. But what happens when the technology takes the next logical and frankly, kind of terrifying step? What happens when it doesn't just try to influence you, but to actually become you? Because that leads us to a much more direct threat, digital impersonation.
It turns out, the same technology that is so good at building your digital twin can be turned around to create incredibly convincing fakes of your voice, your face, what we all now know as deep fakes. And listen, this is not some sci-fi movie plot. The U.S. Copyright Office is literally sounding the alarm bells. They're warning that we have officially entered an era of sophisticated digital replicas, and this creates a whole host of new and serious problems, everything from political chaos to deeply personal violations. And this table really just lays the problem out bare. Our current laws, they're like a patchwork quilt full of holes. The legal standards were written for a completely different world, and they often just fail when it comes to the very specific harms of these new AI fakes.
So what's the answer? Well, experts are pushing for a new federal right to protect your digital identity. And it needs to do a few key things. It needs to protect everybody, not just famous people. It needs to flat out prohibit people from sharing fake versions of you without your permission. And crucially, there need to be real, actual consequences for people who break these rules. But the story of your digital twin doesn't stop with persuasion, or even with theft. It pushes into territory that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction, the realm of digital immortality. This is the next level, a digital doppelganger. Imagine an AI that has been trained on every email you've ever sent, every text message, every social media post. It gets so good that it could pass a personalized Turing test, meaning people talking to it literally couldn't tell if it was the real you or the AI. And for some people, this is a source of real comfort. A man named James Vlahos created what he calls a dad bot, using recordings of his late father. For him, it's a therapeutic way to keep his dad's unique personality and his presence alive. This, of course, brings up a massive philosophical question. Can a digital doppelganger ever truly be you? And the general consensus among philosophers is no. It can't replicate your consciousness, your actual feelings, but, and this is a big but, it can simulate your personality, it can extend your impact on the world, and allow your relationships to continue in some new, strange form. And that leaves us with one final, pretty profound question to chew on. As these digital shadows of ours become more sophisticated, more persuasive, and potentially immortal, we really have to ask ourselves, if your twin outlives you, who or what have you actually left behind?